In one of the popular neighborhoods, Ismail, the little boy, lived with his parents in a modest house. He was an only child, and his father was a timber merchant, so he pampered him a lot and came to him with all his requests. But Ismail could only find comfort in the house of his friend Ramsey and among his family, where he read the Quran with them and went with Ramsey and his father to the mosque to pray. And his joy was lost when he went home and found his parents busy with trade and telephone conversations. When Islam turned 12 years old, his father became a millionaire after his trade has flourished and inherited a lot of his father's property, so he decided to move to an upscale neighborhood and he had more than one trading company and communication was cut off between Ismail and Ramsey and his family as his father was preparing him to be one of the biggest businessmen. Ismail became a young man, and after the death of his father, he inherited a lot of companies, factories, lands, and property. And despite everything, he was not happy. He tried to please himself with what he had. He went through the stage of acquiring things, but he did not find the happiness he wanted. Then he went through the stage of acquiring everything that is rare, but he found that its effect was temporary. So he tried the stage of owning large projects, such as buying a football team or a tourist resort, but he did not find the happiness he imagined. Then he remembered Ramsey, his childhood friend, and his committed family. One day, Ramsey was surprised to find his friend Ismail standing in front of him in a car he had never seen before, and when he went to greet him, he found him crying in his arms, saying to him, "I got lost after you." Ramsey marveled at the words of his friend, who became one of the few rich people, but he went up to their apartment with him, and the family welcomed him very much, and Ramsey invited him to come tomorrow to a modest ceremony at home on the occasion of his sister's completion of memorizing the Quran. The next day, Ismail came and gave Ramsey's sister the keys to a luxury car as a gift, but she politely and tactfully refused. And she gave him a newspaper. When Ramsey found his friend Ismail sad because of his lack of happiness, despite everything he had, he offered him to contribute by buying reading devices for a group of blind children and paying salaries to some teachers specialized in teaching the blind. He donated a large amount immediately, but his friend insisted that he go with him and present his gift to the children himself, so he went with him and presented the devices to the children himself, and he saw the great joy on the faces of the children when they touched their devices that they had waited for so long. But what brought real happiness to Ismail's heart was a child that asked to have a chat with him, record it, and take the recordings with him to his house. So Ismail bent down and asked the child, "And why do you want to record and take it home with you?" The amazing response from which Ismail learned the meaning of true happiness and completely changed his life was when the child said to him, "How much I wish I could see you, but because of the difficulty of this wish, now I just want to memorize your voice well, so that I know whenever I listen to it and tell all people that you are the one who fulfilled my dream, and also to know you when I meet you in paradise." Ismail cried heavily, and instead of returning to his palace, he asked Ramsey to take him back to their house, and there he donated large sums of money to take care of these blind people and contact the top eye doctors if there was hope for restoring their eyesight at all costs. He also donated 2 orphans and caring for widows and to the poor, and then suddenly said to Ramsey's father, "I want to marry your daughter. My happiness will only be complete with her." Everyone agreed to his request, and from that day on, Ismail spends all his time with his wife in charitable works, and on every occasion he says to his wife, "Our holy prophet was right who said, you are aided with the weak and the poor."
يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله ولتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون ولا تكونوا كالذين نسوا الله فأنساهم أنفسهم أولئك هم الفاسقون لا يستوي أصحاب النار وأصحاب الجنة أصحاب الجنة هم الفائزون لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله وتلك الأمثال نضربها للناس لعلهم يتفكرون هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو عالم الغيب والشهادة هو الرحمن الرحيم هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر سبحان الله عما يشركون هو الله الخالق البارئ المصور له الأسماء الحسنى يسبح له ما في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم.